All right, hi everyone. We're looking at our next topic in our right triangles. We've already looked at geometric mean and how we can use the three formulas to find a missing side length in a triangle. We've looked at Pythagorean theorem and how Pythagorean theorem needs at least two sides to find the third side in the triangle. But now, what if you only have one side given to you? Well, one way that you can find the other two is if your triangle is considered to be a special right triangle. So specifically, a special right triangle is a right triangle with angles of 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. Or it could be two 45-degree angles. So a 45 degrees, and a 90 degrees. So there's two special kinds. If your triangle does have those angle measures, then the side lengths have special relationships. Hence why they're called special right triangles. And we're going to take a look at those special relationships over the next several days. So we're just focusing on the 30, 60, 90 today. So for the 30, 60, 90, you have a side length, your shorter side. Our relationship is X. That doesn't look like an X. The short side will be X. The longer side, the longer leg, is X square root 3. So X times the square root of 3. And your longer side, the hypotenuse, 2 times whatever X is. And again, X is the short leg. So with that pattern in mind, let's check out our triangle here. All right, so we have your right angle. I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger. Across from that is your hypotenuse, always. That is the one side of the triangle that will never move. It's always across from your 90. Now, we also have a short leg, just like we did with geometric mean. We have a long leg, just like geometric mean did. And the short leg is always, oops, make that a little bit bigger. The short leg is always what we consider to be the X. So here's what our pattern says. To get from the short leg to the long leg, we need to multiply whatever that short leg is, whatever that length is, times square root 3. And then to go backwards, long leg back to short, we divide by square root 3. Now, we also have a formula that gets us to the hypotenuse. Again, starting with the short leg. So whatever our short leg is, we will multiply that by 2 to get to the hypotenuse. And then to get back, we will divide by 2. So let's sum these up just a little bit. And no matter what, we need the short leg. Whoops, a little big there. So to sum up all 4 of these formulas, our hypotenuse is 2 times the short. The long leg is the short times square root 3. And again, if I need to go backwards, the short is 2 separate formulas. And we use whichever one we need I'm sorry, we use whichever one they give us information for. So to find the short, I can do the hypotenuse divided by 2, or I can do the long divide by square root 3. So those are my 4 different formulas that we're using. So it just depends on what information do they give you, what one side do they give me, and on what side do I need. And that lets me know which formula I need to use. So let's check out some examples on how we use those different formulas. So number 1, we need to find both A and B. So label this triangle. Remember your 30? Go back to when we first talked about angles, and we put them in order. The shorter leg is always across from the 30. The longer leg always across from the 60. Hypotenuse always across from the 90. So if 30 is over in the bottom right corner, look across. That is my short leg. Now I need my long leg. Find the 60. Straight across from the 60 is the long leg. Hypotenuse is always across from the 90. So now let's find the formulas. First off, let's say I need A. A is the long leg. So I'm going to use long leg equals the short times square root 3. Well, what is my short leg? My short leg has a length of 9. So that should be a 9. So then my long leg is A 9 times square root 3. And I don't have to put the multiplication dot there. But that's all I need to do. I'm not taking this to a decimal. It is staying 9 square root 3. We leave it in a simplified radical. Now let's get B, which is the hypotenuse. Now I need the hypotenuse is 2 times the short. Well, again, if my short has a length of 9, then my hypotenuse, which is B, is 2 times 9, which is 18. And there are my 2 final answers. The short piece is the key here, because for every kind of triangle with these 30, 60, 90s, you need the shorter leg. So if you do not have that shorter, you must find it first. Let's try another example. All right, let's label it again like we did the last time. Across from 30 is the short leg. Across from 60 is the long leg. If you add those 2 angles up and subtract it from 180, I'm left with a 90 degrees, which means I can find my hypotenuse. Because again, all triangles have to add up to 180. So 30 plus 60 is 90. 180 minus 90 is another 90 for my right. Now let's see what we've got. They give us the long leg. Like I said earlier, the short you must find first if you don't have it. So our formula says we need the short leg is the long leg divided by square root 3. Now, my long leg is 4 square root 3. So I have 4 square root 3. I'm going to divide by that square root 3. And the radical 3's or square root 3's cancel out. And my short leg, which is my x, is equal to 4. Now we need the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is supposed to be 2 times the short. And again, we just found the short. It was 4. So I have 2 times 4. So my y is equal to 8. And that's it. It's done. You've got your x, you have your y. Let's try another one. All right, this time they've given me a 60. Across from the 60 is my long leg. They've given me the 90. Across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. Again, 60 plus 90. For those that need it, I'm going to write it out here. 60 plus 90 is 150. Minus that from 180. There's our 30. And across from the 30 is your short leg. So if you don't have that third angle, again, there's written out the way we can find it. All right, again, we need to get the short leg first. And they give us the long leg. Same formula as the last one we just did. Short leg is equal to the long leg divided by square root 3. Our long leg is 12. So that is a 12 divided by square root 3. All right, what letter was our short leg? X. And again, there's nothing else we need to do here. We're going to leave it as 12 over square root 3. Sometimes in Algebra 2, they want you to rationalize the denominator, but for our purposes, we're just leaving it as 12 divided by square root 3. It's done. Now I need to find the hypotenuse, and same formula as before. The hypotenuse is 2 times the short. So my short is 12 over square root 3. Now, because I am multiplying by a fraction, that 2 needs to be put over 1 times 12 over square root 3. So then my final answer, I'm going to move this over just a little bit to give a little more room here. Oh, it moved on me. Sorry about that. Sorry, little technical difficulty. All right. Sorry, moved it all up just a little bit. All right, so now my y, multiply straight across, 2 times 12, 24. 1 times square root 3 stays square root 3. And there is my final. Let's try another. All right, example 4. Like before, they've given us the 60. Across from that, long leg. They've given me the 90. Across from the 90, the hypotenuse. Like before, 60 plus 90, 150. Take that away from 180. There's my 30 for my short leg. And again, you must find the short leg first. Even though it's y, the order of the letters doesn't matter, but you must find the short leg first. So they've given us the hypotenuse. Short leg is equal to your hypotenuse divided by 2. So if my hypotenuse is 20, I'm going to divide that by 2. And my y is equal to 10. I have to use that 10 to get to the long leg, because our long leg formula says it is your short times square root 3. And again, my short is a 10. So x equals, oops, sorry, I forgot my equals there, 10 square root 3. And that's it. Again, we're not taking either of these to the decimal. That's it. We're done. I want to try just a couple more, make sure we're good with these. More practice with finding our other legs. Now, not always are your triangles going to be turned the same way. So again, you have to make sure you know where to find your other pieces. Right now, they've given you a 90. There's your hypotenuse. They've given you the 60, which is across from the long leg. Meaning our last one, 60 plus 90, 150. 180 minus 150, there's my 30. Across from it, the short leg. So we need to get our short leg, and we have it, so we're going to use that 8 to get the other 2. So our long leg formula is the short times square root 3. So we have the short leg, it is an 8. So then our x is 8 square root 3. It's done. Now we need the hypotenuse. Which is your short times 2, or 2 times the short, sorry. 2 times the short. Again, your short is 8. So I have 2 times 8 here. So then my y is 16. It's done. All right, hopefully now, guys, you're starting to get a little more comfortable. Let's try another one. They're giving us the 30, which means across from that is the short leg. They gave us the 90. Across from that, the hypotenuse, which means 30 plus 90, 120. 180 minus 120 is our 60 to get the long leg. Now let's keep going. Your short leg, we need to find first, which is supposed to be the long is what they give us. So long leg divide by square root 3. So my long leg is 9 square root 3. We're going to divide that by a square root 3. The radicals cancel. Only thing we're left with, so our x is equal to 9. All right, now we need the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 2 times the short leg. Again, our short is the 9 we just found. So 2 times 9. So y is 18. It's done. Again, hopefully now this is getting a little bit easier for you guys. We've got 2 more examples. And again, I want to go through all of these. The more practice we get, the better off it's going to be. Now, 7 is a little different because of that fraction. But again, across from the 30, short leg. So they gave us the short leg. Across from the 60, long leg. Across from the 90, the hypotenuse. So let's see what we need. So again, the long leg is the short times square root 3. My short leg is 1/2. So then my y is 1/2 square root 3. And again, that's it. We're done. We're not taking this to any decimal. We are leaving it exactly as it is. Your hypotenuse is now what we're going to find, which is 2 times the short. Again, my short is 1/2. So 2 over 1, or like before, if we're multiplying by a fraction, let's get our whole number over 1, times 1/2. So 2 times 1/2 is a 1. So my x is 1. So even though we have a fraction in there, it still does not change your formulas at all. Let's try the last one. All right, across from the 30, short leg. So we're going to have to find that first. Across from the 90, the hypotenuse. So that's what they gave us. 90 and 30 make 120. 180 minus 120. That means our 60 is at the top for our long leg. So again, if you do not have the short, find it first. No matter what letter it is, find it first. Your short is supposed to be the hypotenuse. Divide by 2. So your hypotenuse is 11. And we're going to divide that by 2. So my x is 11 over 2. Again, it's not going to simplify down. I'm not taking it to the decimal. I'm leaving it 11.2. Now we're going to use that short to get to the long leg, because the long leg is the short times square root 3. Again, my short is 11 over 2. So my y is 11 over 2 square root 3. And that's done. Now, there are some times that value in front of your radical can be as a decimal, but again, we're leaving it. We're not taking that number and multiplying by square root 3. We're going to leave it as the value we found. All right. So guys, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about working with your special right triangles, the 30, 60, 90. Next lesson, we'll look at 45, 45, 90, because again, it is considered a special right. It does have relationships with the sides, but they are not the same as the 30, 60. So we're only looking at 30, 60, 90s today. So guys, please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions at all. Bye guys.